Найперше враження, коли ти приїхав до України.
Це був культурний шок.
Можеш уже вирізнити український матюк?
Мій друг постійно говорить одне слово.
Протирав підлогу. Тобі за це платили?
Домовилися на $5.
Ти зробив пропозицію своїй дівчині.
Насправді могло нічого не бути.
Блін, ну це було круто. Вперше у нашій програмі гість з-за океану. Американський легіонер баскетбольного клубу «Запоріжжя» Майкл Холтон. Майк, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Майкл Холтон молодший, син колишнього гравця NBA, а нині коментатора матчів Portland Trail Blazers. Розігруючи баскетбольного клубу «Запоріжжя», до цього виступав за команду коледжу Сент Майклс, баскетбольні клуби Капфенберг, Австрія та Айнтрахт, Німеччина. Розпочати нашу розмову хочу з найприємнішої новини, яка стосується тебе за той період у Запоріжжі, який ти провів у нас. Ти зробив пропозицію своїй дівчині у нашому місті. Розкажи, як це було.
Yeah, definitely. In my time here, since coming here in August, the most favorable and memorable time would be just about a week and a half ago when I proposed to my girlfriend. We've been together for about 3 years, and so things were getting really serious and moving forward in the right direction, and so decided to take the next step. And you know, I'm here for the season, so didn't really feel like waiting any longer and just wanted to just make it happen. So I tried to find the best location I could here in town. Went to Kortitsa Island, and she really enjoys horse riding and horses. She loves them, and so I figured maybe I could combine something that she loves with the proposal. And so with the help of my teammate, Stas Avdiyenko, he and his wife helped me go and scout out a location and a horse riding stable there. And so they helped me plan and execute the proposal, and it went well. She said yes.
А які ще місця, окрім Хортиці, ти облюбував у Запоріжжі?
In Zaporizhzhia, like in my free time, I like to visit various like cafes and restaurants. Kortitsa is definitely the most beautiful place I've seen in Zaporizhzhia, but with the colder weather, it's not somewhere that you really hang out at in the wintertime. So, you know, aside from being in the gym and games and the basketball schedule, I like to check out different spots around town.
А твоя травма спини, яку ти отримав перед матчем від плей-офф, вона пов'язана із тією прогулкою на конях, коли ти робив пропозицію? Тому що травма спини. Ти там травмував спину?
I'm hearing that a lot in practice now. Coach will joke about it. The other guys on the team, Javon, he'll give me a hard time about it. I don't think that they're connected, and I'd like to think that they're not connected. I did a proposal, and we got up on horses and walked around on the horses for a little bit, and that was on a Monday. Practiced the entire rest of the week, and on a Saturday that week, I caught a pass during morning practice that came over my shoulder really quick, and I turned to catch it, and just my neck kind of locked up on me. And then 2 days after that, I woke up. I got some tape. I got tape for it done. And then 2 days after that, I woke up, and my low back was kind of tight and pulling on me. And so I feel like maybe the neck muscle kind of spasm contributed to the low back thing that I'm dealing with right now. But yeah, I'm seeing a specialist daily right now the last 3 days, and he's doing some alignment and massage stuff, and I'm feeling a lot better already. So a couple more days, and I think I should be good to go again.
А де ви познайомились з Мелані? Вона з Австрії, а ти з Америки.
Yeah, so I was in America. I finished up college 2015, and I got my first contract to play pro ball in Austria. And so went out to Austria for that season. And the very first week of preseason, my teammates and I, we went out in Vienna for the night just to kind of get to know each other better as a team and kind of bond and just hang out. And she was at the club that we went to. And so saw her and, thought she was beautiful and everything, and, talked to her for a bit, and luckily got her phone number that night. And it took a couple more months before we actually got to hang out and stuff. But by the time that happened, I could really tell that She was a cool girl, and beyond just how she looked, I really liked her as a person. And then we just hung out more and more over time, over the course of that season. Neither of us thought that maybe it would go anywhere so far, because I was from America, she's from there, and thought maybe I'd just leave at the end of the season. And it was nice to know each other for that time, but things really picked up as we got to know each other better, and we dealt with some long distance over some time, but stuck it through it, and now here we are, engaged after 3 years of knowing each other. There's actually something kind of funny about the phone number situation. When I asked her for her phone number, I went to put it into my phone, and it was my first time really being in Europe, and so country calling codes are different for each country. And so if you're within the country, you don't put the +43 or the +380 or whatever it is, and I didn't know that. And so she just put her phone number in, starting with like 0. And I tried to send a text to her, a couple minutes later, just so that she had my number saved as well. And it didn't go through. So I thought she gave me a fake number. And I was just kind of like, oh man, like I thought I had like a good connection with her. But she gave me a fake number? Like, no. And I was like, do I chase her down? Do I just leave it? And I was like, so I ran out. She was already on her way out, and she was getting her coat by the door, and I just ran. I was like, hey, did you give me a wrong number, or did I type something in wrong, or, and she was kind of embarrassed because she was with some friends and we didn't know each other really yet. But I don't know, I felt like I wanted to make sure it was right, and then she fixed it. She put the calling code in, and then, that worked, so we were able to talk after that. Yeah, we both laugh about that story, because we think, what if I never asked for the correct digits on there? Would I have ever figured it out or not? And so just a funny part of that.
Коли Мелані приїжджає у Запоріжжя, це додає тобі енергії якоїсь, тому що перед плей-офф у домашньому турі, коли грали з Мапами і Київбаскетом, ти відіграв прекрасно.
Yeah, it's great having her here with me, just being here together, living with each other, and knowing that we're together before the games, after the game. She's there in the stands watching, and it definitely helps for me that she's here. Her presence gives me, a great boost, and I love that she's able to be here with me right now. Last season, we were together, and she was able to come to all the games, and the year before that, she came to some games, and so being able to look into the stands and see, her there is helpful for me. That's it. That's all I got.
У першій частині сезону саме тобі належав рекорд результативності в одному матчі. Там 36 очок у грі з черкаськими Мапами ти набрав. От що ти відчуваєш, коли на куражі, коли гра йде?
It's a great feeling when things are going your way on the court and you see the ball going in the basket a lot. That was our third game of the season. We opened up against Mykolaiv at home, and we won a close one, and then we played at Kyiv and lost by like 20 points. And I wasn't really that satisfied with my performance in each of those games. I was still trying to find my balance in my role, kind of like how much do I distribute, how much do I score, still gelling with the guys in the regular season type of games. And going into that third game, coach before the game just said, you know what, guys, just play loose, have a good mood, have fun, go out there. These were the reigning champions from last season, and so there were high expectations from them this season at the beginning of the year. So it was kind of a game like, oh, we got to go out and, try to make a statement. And then coach just said, don't be nervous, just have fun, play. So I went out there and played my game and got hot early on. I think I had 18 points in the first quarter. And so from there, it just, things just kept rolling, and I finished with 36. And so it was a good feeling throughout the whole game, knowing that like my shots were falling and my teammates were giving me, added confidence and an extra boost throughout to keep going and attacking. So real good feeling.
А незадовго до цієї гри в Черкасах був от стартовий поєдинок всього чемпіонату тут у Запоріжжі проти МБК Миколаїв. Ти не спав всю ніч перед грою. Що це було?
I guess just kind of everything building up going into that first game of the season. From the moment that a previous season finishes, you're getting ready for the first game of the next season. And so that's postseason, that's home, that's figuring out a team, that's signing to a team, getting there, preseason workouts, preseason games, and then you get to that like regular season game. And even though, you know, it's my job, it's my craft, and it's what I do every day, I'm a professional, that first game is still like, you know, in your mind a lot like, yeah, we want to go out and do the right thing and have, you know, get a win and have a good start to the season. So it's just a lot of things cycling through your mind. And with that going on, it was just hard for me to sleep that night. I only got a couple hours, and then, you know, it was game day. So after that, things just kind of leveled out, and, you know, I got my routines, I sleep well. No more sleepless nights going into games. So it's just that first game of the season just kind of gets you, you know, there's a lot going on in your mind.
Ну, ти в повсякденному житті на майданчику дуже такий серйозний, відповідальний. Американці, я знаю, люблять танцювати дуже. І у нас, які на майданчику танцюють. А ти вдома, можливо, танцюєш, коли ніхто не бачить?
Yeah, I think everybody's different. You know, I think everybody's got like a serious side and like a goofy side, and where they show it is always different. And so for some guys, they need to be loose and smiling and joking and maybe dancing like when they're on the court and they're performing. It keeps them going. And some people need to kind of keep it cool, keep it, you know, more serious, and, you know, keep a straight face. And I think when it comes to me, like when I'm on the court, I'm showing more of a straight face, and it's business for me. Like, and as a point guard, you know, I find my role to be leading the team, you know, through the ups and downs of the games. And so for me, if I stay level-headed and cool, whether we're up 15 or down 15 points, I think it's important for my teammates and my coach to see that the leader, the general on the court is the even kill. If I'm dancing around too much, or if I'm, you know, throwing a temper tantrum, maybe it'll affect my teammates. And so for me, in my role, that's how I kind of envision things. So that's kind of how I like to keep it during the games. But when I get home or locker room or whatever, like, you know, I'm cool. I'm chilling, and you know, I'm funny and stuff. So yeah, just two different things for me.
А хто в складі БК Запоріжжя такий найбільш веселий, розгульний?
I'd have to say it's close between Malik and Javon, but I'd give it to Malik over Javon overall. I think he's kind of like the goofiest guy. He stays true to himself. Like if he feels like dancing, he's gonna dance. If he wants to do a backflip, he'll do a backflip. You know, that's definitely, I give that award to Malik.
А ще хочу згадати за Кіндала. Кіндал на майданчику теж дуже серйозний, але в сторіс Інстаграм він завжди танцює, співає. Чому він на майданчику це не робить? Чому не додає такої енергії?
Yeah, and it's kind of like your other question, where it's like some people are serious, some people, you know, are goofing around and stuff, and it's just kind of two different worlds. And so I was really surprised because I was only seeing Kendall on the court at first, you know, at the beginning of the season. You know, he's very serious, and, you know, just comes to, you know, do his job and work. And you see that, but then like on social media and Instagram and stuff, you see him dancing and rapping and stuff on his stories. So yeah, it's just, you know, everybody's different, and everyone shows different sides in different places. So.
Був у нас у програмі тренер баскетбольного клубу Запоріжжя, і він сказав, що він з тобою контактував ще задовго до появи тут. Скажи, які аргументи Валерій Миколаївич тобі доводив, щоб ти приїхав сюди до Запоріжжя?
Well, the club I played for last season in Germany, RSV Stahnsdorf, the manager of that club is a childhood and longtime friend of Coach. And so when I finished playing there last season, it was communicated and understood that I wanted to move on and try and play in a higher league. And the manager there, his name's Vladimir, he was willing to help me try to find the next level and the next place for me to go in my career. And over the summertime, he reached out to me and said that, hey, you know, my buddy, he's the coach of a team in the Ukrainian Super League, and he's interested in you. You know, like we've talked a lot about you, and he's watched your game. He's familiar with you. He knows how you play. He knows your strengths and weaknesses already, and he thinks that you would fit very well on his team and be a big role. And so for me, that was just like, wow, you know, like you never really know when you're in this industry if the next team you're going to play for, if they're familiar with you and if you're going to fit well. But this was somebody that already kind of understood my game and where I could fit into his system. And so when they said that they wanted me, it was a really good and comfortable feeling for me to make that decision.
Далі в програмі. Чи погодиться Майкл Холтон провести ще один сезон у Запоріжжі? Що смачніше – американські бургери чи український борщ? Та які пригоди чекали на баскетболіста в українських супермаркетах? Майк, твоє найперше враження, коли ти приїхав до України?
One of my first impressions about Ukraine when I got here was how big the country really is, and that's based on kind of like our road trips that we make. We had preseason tournament, and the bus ride was 5.5 hours or so. And then as we got into games, you know, I thought that was long. And then we go to play Kyiv, and that's an 8 or 9 hour trip. We go to Odessa, that's like a 9-hour trip. And so just seeing how big the country is and how far we travel for games, I was really like, wow, you know, like things are really spread out. And there's lots of different cities and different regions, and they've all got kind of their own ebb and flow to them, their own vibe. And so I thought that was really cool about Ukraine, that it's got a lot of kind of different types of cities with different energies and vibes to them, and kind of, it's cool that it's kind of diverse in that way.
А чого українського бракує, наприклад, в Америці?
I really like the dumplings. Like I've been at a restaurant and they've had like some kind of Ukrainian dumplings, I think, and those are really good. And then I've tried like the borscht here, the soup, and I've enjoyed it. So maybe I'll try and see if I can find that somewhere in the States when I go back. Yeah, those are two things from a food standpoint that I've enjoyed here so far.
А окрім борща, сало українське, можливо, горілочку ти пробував у нас?
Yes, it was not something that I was looking for. I didn't decide like, hey, I want to go try this, but we went out at the beginning of the season for dinner as a team just to kind of get to know each other better and bond during the preseason. And it felt like it was a mandatory thing that we all try like a shot of some Ukrainian vodka and like some pig fat, like a strip of like uncooked bacon almost, it was like, and you had those together. And so I had those because everyone was saying, hey, you have to, it's a team thing, like, you know, welcome to Ukraine. And so I tried it, and I have not tried it since then. So it was probably a one-time thing for me. But yeah, I've tried it.
Майк, а які ще цікаві ситуації або проблеми були в плані побуту тут у Запоріжжі в тебе?
At first was really problematic for me. I buy a lot of produce, like fruits and vegetables. And so in the grocery stores here, or at least at one of them, Silpo, I go to very often, you have to bag your vegetables or your fruits, and then you have to weigh them, and then you have to press a button on the screen, and then the name of that item, you print it out and you put it on, you get the barcode. And so I could bag up some apples or tomatoes or bananas or whatever it is and then put it on the scale, and I don't know which button to press because it's all written in Ukrainian. And so it would take me a really long time to grocery shop at first, and there'd be a line of people behind me kind of like, are you know, hurry up, like what's, you know, now at first I would just kind of pull mine off to the side and wait for them to go so there's no one behind me. And then I tried again. And then I was lucky enough sometimes people would look and kind of just like press the button for me, and I was like, thank you, spasibo. That was the one word I knew at the beginning. So that was an adjustment, but now I know those certain words. I know how banana looks, and I know those letters and stuff. So I'm good with that now. Another adjustment was sometimes bathrooms. The toilets, most places that I've been to here, the toilets are like normal, like white toilets that you sit on. But sometimes you have the old school, just like toilet on the floor, and it's just kind of like a hole. And so first time when you need to use the bathroom and you go into somewhere and you see that, it's like, okay, I gotta wait. So that was another thing that happened to me a couple times.
Окрім «спасибо», які слова українською мовою, Майк, ти знаєш?
Besides spasiba, I think I can count a couple numbers like 1 through 10, like один, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь, восемь,
9.
девять, and 10. And then, so I can do those basic numbers. Like I also hear at practice a lot like хорошо and давай. So I know that those are like positive words. Besides that, I don't know a lot. Maybe I can understand more than I can remember right now. But for me to say stuff, I don't like нет, да, нет, like yes and no. So just some very basic things that kind of get me by.
А можеш уже вирізнити український матюк?
Yeah, like one word that is said all the time by a teammate, Anton Boots. He's always saying "suka," and then the word that follows that. And so, and then sometimes when coach is mad during the game, like you hear it coming back the other way. So I don't know the exact translation for that, like what it would be in English, but I know that's not good. So I try not to. I don't really need to ever say it, but I know if it's being said, then like somebody's mad.
Майк, ти цікавишся тими подіями, які відбуваються у нас в Україні?
A little bit. I think that I should probably be even more informed than I am. But I've just been so focused on my job and the reason why I came here. So I know a little bit about what's going on, but would need to hear some more probably and watch the news a little bit more closely to know exactly what's going on.
І ти не знаєш, що в нас в Україні вибори президента якраз от наприкінці березня.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I know that there will be a president election coming up. And the president, I think, was here in Zaporizhzhia a couple of weeks ago, like kind of close to our gym too, because some of our teammates were looking out the window and like, oh, there he goes. And so I didn't get a chance to see him, but I know that the election's coming up, and so it's a big thing that everyone's focused on.
Майк, а хто із гравців БК Запоріжжя, українських гравців, міг би грати в NBA, на твою думку?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I don't ever want to be somebody to limit somebody's skills or potential or their journey. And there's players in the Super League that have NBA experience. I think Fisenko at Dnipro was already in the NBA. And then a couple seasons ago, DJ Stevens, he was at Budivelnik. And he then made it onto I think he's with the Grizzlies now. And so I know that it's possible to have ties with the Ukrainian Super League and make it to the NBA. So maybe it's possible for some of my teammates or other players here.
А ти в Запоріжжі провів кілька майстер-класів для дітей. Ти хочеш бути тренером, чи це такий от посил від душі йде?
It's just a passion for the game and knowing how important it is to pass down the information and knowledge that you have so that you can, keep the game of basketball moving forward. And that's always with giving back to the youth. And I remember when I was a young kid, I had, not only my father as a coach who was close to me, but I always had older players I looked up to or players that would come visit my school or do camps and clinics. And it was really big for me as a young kid to see that and have that. And it built, my hunger and desire for the game. And so now that I'm in that position on the other side, I know it's really important to give back to the youth in that way too.
Майк, ти дуже активний в соціальних мережах. Давай прямо зараз зробимо фото в сторіс в Інстаграм на згадку про сьогоднішній день, про сьогоднішнє інтерв'ю.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Майк, твій батько був професійним гравцем в NBA, зараз коментує матчі Portland Trail Blazers, теж в NBA. Які в тебе думки стосовно гри в NBA? Мрієш туди потрапити?
Yeah, my dad, he's currently working for the Trailblazers in the NBA, and he's really enjoying the job and the work he's able to do. It doesn't really feel like a job to him, and so I think that's the best kind of situation you can ask for. In terms of following the NBA and my thoughts on it, they're the best basketball players in the world, and so it's really entertaining to watch and follow and see guys who sustain their careers and do it for a long time, and also see the young and up-and-coming guys is really exciting. As far as playing in the NBA goes, it was always a childhood dream of mine to get a chance to play in the NBA. And I'd always had my eyes set on that, But as I've gotten older and older and realized that the opportunities to play in the NBA are really limited, I've set my eyes on other opportunities around the world and seeing what else I can do to still fulfill the dream of playing basketball professionally. And I'm able to do that right now here in Ukraine, and I've done it in Germany and Austria. And so for me, of course, getting a chance to play in the NBA would be amazing, but I don't see it as a failure if I don't get the chance. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing now and the opportunities I've had so far. So I'm just taking this basketball journey of mine one day at a time and trying to enjoy the process and see wherever it takes me.
Коли твій батько тренував, ти був в тому залі ще маленьким, протирав підлогу. Тобі за це платили, чи ти просто хотів бути поруч із баскетболом, поруч із батьком?
Both. It was a two-factor. Me and my younger brother, Anthony, we're 21 months apart. And so we've always been really close in age and interested in basketball, especially together as kids. And as my dad was coaching different places and he got the job at Portland, we noticed that they had mop boys who sit under the baskets, and they're at every game, they're sitting courtside, they get to interact with the players and stuff, and we kind of were like, that would be cool to do, we'd love to get the chance to do that. It'd be really fun, maybe. And so we also asked if they were paid to do that, and so we found out that they were paid, and so we negotiated a $5 per game rate with my dad, so that we'd mop the floors during the games, and then he would give us $5 for each game that we did. So to us, it felt like a win-win situation. Get to be close and watch, college athletes and players that we look up to, and then get a little bit of money for that, buy some candy or whatever it was that we were buying at that age.
А ти слухаєш, коли твій батько коментує матчі Portland Trail Blazers?
Yeah, when I get the opportunity to, I try to watch those. Being here in Ukraine, I'm not able to watch any NBA games really. If I could probably find links and do it, but the time of day is just, I have to be up at 3, 4 in the morning just to catch a game, so I'm not able to watch them. And it's been the same as I've lived in Europe and outside of the States. But when I was back home in America, if I wasn't at a game, I was always able to catch the Trailblazer game on TV and see him, doing his job, the pregame show, halftime, and postgame. So I always thought that was really cool to be able to be in the room and the TV comes on and it's a game and I can hear my dad's voice and, oh, there he is right on TV and stuff. So it's always been cool to watch him do that.
А сам би хотів стати телевізійним експертом або коментатором?
I don't see why not, I'm still not 100% sure exactly what it is I'm going to do when I stop playing, but to still be involved with the game of basketball in some way, whether it's coaching or scouting or analyzing and commentating, that would be amazing. And so I've paid close attention to him and how he does his job and how he prepares for it and all the things that go on. And the more and more that I'm around different, media situations like now where we have an interview, I watch how things are set up and the mics and stuff. So it's really interesting to me being involved with the game from the outside the lines, not playing, but whether it's coaching or commentating or, doing radio or something like that. I think it would be, a dream job to continue being involved with the game after playing. So maybe commentating is down the line for me. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see.
Майк, ти б залишився у Запоріжжі ще на один сезон?
That is a great question. I've had a great time here so far this season, and it's been a great experience for me. To be offered another chance to come back would just be a blessing. So, I'd be interested in it. Just have to wait until the time comes. Finish out the season strong, day by day right now. Try to win as many games as we can and make a strong run in the playoffs and then see what the team wants to do next season. So, yeah.
А який найбільш пам'ятний момент цього сезону от на сьогоднішній день, такий, щоб ти сказав, блін, ну це було круто?
There's been a couple of moments, interesting moments. We've had some interesting games on the road where fans at other cities are really rowdy and almost getting ejected from the game by the referees. And so when you have a game like that and the intensity is so high and you're on the road and you can tell that this team in this city really doesn't want you to pull out a win and you're able to pull out a win, it's a really great feeling. And so we had this at Mykolaiv where they had a fan get pulled from the game because it was really almost about to attack the referee for a call, but we lost that one. And so the game that really stands out to me is at Cherkasy. I think it was back in January. It was a close game throughout, and Malik Trent was going crazy that game. He had 39 points. And so for me to, have my teammate playing that well and we're all fired up and rolling as a team, and then the other crowd is, kind of having a bad time. They had a woman who was kind of screaming at the referee and she was asked to leave. And so the environment was just crazy there. I had a teammate who had a crazy night and we got the win. So that for me was overall probably like the best game experience I've had so far this season.
Майк, у нашій програмі ми розігруємо подарунок для глядачів. Який ти підготував подарунок?
So got a type of raffle question for the fans, and I've got a prize of a training shirt from my college days from my university. This is something that we were given each season to work out with, and it's something that's been special to me. I've got a couple more of them, so it's something that I can part ways with, kind of as a thank you to the fans for all the support they've given us this season. Something that I want to give that's a piece of me to somebody. So I'll sign this and raffle this away to somebody who answers the correct trivia question about me.
Тоді питання задавай, Майк, для наших глядачів.
The question is, what was the mascot of my high school basketball team?
Майк, будь ласка, залишай свій розпис на футболці. Отже, перший, хто у коментарі під цим відео напише правильну відповідь і отримує подарунок. Подарунок дуже і дуже класний, тому давайте, будь ласка, залишайте коментарі, ставте лайки, підписуйтесь на нашу сторінку на YouTube-каналі. Такі чудові подарунки ми розіграємо. Майк, дякую тобі за розмову. Успіхів у вирішальних матчах сезону.
Thanks for having me. Спасибо.